Everyone's talking about AI, but there aren't always as many conversations about the cost, unless, of course, it's that crazy bill that somebody ran up without expecting it. But as a developer, we're always going to be thinking about that. So let's take a look at a real example app. We are going to be building a tool that helps people looking at stocks evaluate what they should do. This particular PDF, we have 3 different funds that we're looking at, and all of the information about the risks, about the fees and expenses, and all of the information that people would use to evaluate which one they might need. So we're going to make this app here. And the idea is we're going to work with OpenAI. We are going to pull in that PDF we were just looking at. And then our prompt, you are reviewing a series of investment documents in plain language, summarize each fund's investment objective, the fund's principal risk, and what a financial advisor might pay attention to. We're going to go ahead and send up this whole file into OpenAI and have it come back with that information. And while we're at it, we're going to have it also produce the cost. Okay, here we have our results. I've got a breakdown for each fund. I've got this financial advisor comparison for each one. Great information. I think this will be perfect for our audience. And at the end, let's take a look at what our cost is. So for this one, our input is about 2 cents and the output is about 2 cents. And it's landing us at about 4 cents and some change, some sub change there. So let's take a look at numbers, assuming we're going to run about 1 million transactions a year. So start off, that daily cost is going to be right around $120. So that's pretty reasonable. Then we get into our monthly cost at about $3,500. And then when we actually start looking at this annual cost, we are at almost $44,000. That really starts to add up fast. Let's take a look at what we could do to begin to limit some of these costs. Starting by what we're sending in. This is a huge amount of information. There's a ton of stuff on here that the LLM does not need. It doesn't need the charting. It doesn't need all of these default languages. All the fonts and formats and things like that are just extra data. But we do want to know things like the principal risks, the information over the fund overview, or any of these things that are the important pieces of information. So I'm going to take you over to showcase.apryse.com. I invite you to come out here and do the same experiment for yourself. I'm going to choose file. Just note we're going to turn enabled off in order to keep this file up in between our examples. So I'm going to pull up that same document we've been looking at. And then I'm going to come over here to content extraction. Go into document structure extraction, and we'll go ahead and run this. It's a mass grab of information. We don't really know how things relate to one another. So in order to get to that next piece, we're going to go ahead and also run the key value extraction. So with the key value pair added, we now know how headings relate to the different data. So we're able to know which pieces of information we need to then send to the LLM. So approaching our app with this new format, we're going to go ahead and pull in our Apryse SDK, formerly PDFtrons. You'll see some of that language here. And we'll run that document extraction first. We'll run that key value pair function. And then what we're going to do is just go through that key value pair and pull out those pieces of information that we think are pertinent to the LLM creating this data for us. So one other thing, we're going to go ahead and downsize that output a little bit by just tightening up our prompt. We're going to briefly summarize the objective and risks in one step, and then again go into just a 3-point summary that a financial advisor might give us. So with that, let's go ahead and run this. So first, that document extraction you can see is just a huge dump of information. We have things like italics and weights and fonts, just a little bit more information again than we want to send in for this exercise. The key value pairs, right, have gone through and then found those values. And so we are then able to take things like the strategy and then pull that out when we pull those back together. So here we have that succinct information that really is necessary to make this valuation. So coming back out, we again have that a little bit smaller, so a little quicker summary, and then the recommendations that a financial advisor would give. So that, if we bring our costs down here, we take a look. So we are down to 101.32. So when we take that back and compare, we are looking at a yearly savings of about $30,000 for applying this change. So the Apryse SDK and Smart Data Extraction can really help you conserve those costs and make a big difference in the bottom line of that new application you're making.